What does success on Twitter look like? What can you expect to be successful on this social network? Well, the first sign of success is that you'll start getting followers. You'll start gaining followers to your account. You'll start getting engagement. And on Twitter, engagement is a retweet. It's a favorite of your tweet. It's somebody sharing your tweet with other people. It's a direct message. It's somehow people connecting with you on Twitter other than just following and seeing your tweets. And it can also, if you're posting links in your tweet, drive traffic to your website. And ultimately, I think that's what people want from Twitter, is you want to get people going to your website and seeing what you have to offer. But ultimately, Twitter is a branding social network. It's here that people are going to learn who you are, you'll get visibility, and it's a great introduction for people to learn more about you and your brand. Now, the question is, can you get sales from Twitter? It's unlikely. That's not to say that you can't get sales on Twitter, but here's the reason why. The life cycle of an average tweet is 20 minutes. There's so much going on Twitter. It's not like Facebook where your news feed is kind of curated. You see everything from everybody that you follow and even more on Twitter. And so after 20 minutes, your tweet has scrolled off the screen, not ever to be seen again. And so what you get is a very brief time on Twitter to get people's attention and get your message out. That's not enough to get a sale. However, it is enough to brand your business and to drive people to your website. And it's there that you can make a further connection. Now, because a tweet lasts only about 20 minutes. Now, I don't want to say that, let me clarify this. A tweet is really a forever thing. Once you tweet it, it is always on your Twitter account. What I mean by a tweet, the life cycle is 20 minutes, is that in the news feed or the Twitter stream that someone sees, it will probably only be there for 20 minutes before it's pushed down by other tweets. So the visibility of your tweets to others in their stream is 20 minutes. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, a tweet has a short shelf life. And so what that means is that you can tweet often. Whereas I post once a day on Facebook, I post once an hour on Twitter. And that is during U.S. business hours from 9 to 5 Eastern time. So I tweet on an average between 8 and 10 times a day. You can tweet your best content multiple times. And I do this. There are some tweets that I do every single day. It's the same tweet. I do it every day. And that's okay. Nobody's going to complain about that on Twitter because it lasts for 20 minutes. So the people who saw it yesterday are not going to be the same people who see it today. And those are not going to be the same people who see it tomorrow. And then also, you want to optimize your tweet timing. And that means that you need to know who your customers are, who your potential audience is, and what that timing is. So, Willie, I see that you're here on the webinar and you're in Chicago. So you know that most of your clients are going to be in, that Chicago's in that weird time zone in between Eastern and Central. But you know that that's going to be your optimal tweet timing, is going to be during that Chicago time cycle. And so that's when you want to be sending out your tweets. Now, if this has you feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you should, because it's a lot to do. Tweeting every hour is unrealistic for most people. If, like Willie, you're not sitting in front of your computer every day and even if you still have your smartphone with you and you can do tweets on it, we're busy in our business. Most of us don't have time to be tweeting, multiple times a day. And tweeting 8 to 10 times a day is time consuming. And so I have come up with what I call the Twitter Success System. And this is what allows me to tweet once an hour, 5 days a week, and do it in total. I spend about 15 minutes a day on Twitter, and that's it. And so I'm going to share with you how I do this. I want to clarify here that this is not a Twitter how-to webinar. This is not to replace the Twitter 101 class. That's really where you need to be to learn how to use Twitter. This is a more advanced webinar for how to automate a lot of the things that are kind of background tasks that can be repeated over and over again. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. And so here are the 3 parts of the Twitter success system that I use. The first thing is that you want to be able to schedule your tweets ahead of time. And you can do that with any one of, multiple tools. The most popular one is Hootsuite. And I do have a webinar on how to use Hootsuite. And it is a free tool. Buffer is also a hugely popular tool to do what I call one and done posting. You can do one post and then, tweet it and then post it on Facebook and other social networks at the same time. And it also allows you to schedule your tweets ahead of time. TweetDeck is another tool that will allow you to do that. I used to use Hootsuite, but I now use Sprout Social, and that's what I'll be using today. I'm not necessarily recommending Sprout Social for others. It's just what works for me here at socialmediaonlineclasses.com. It allows you to work with a team. It has really good reporting features, but it's on the expensive side. It's about $50 a month. So one of the free tools like Hootsuite or Buffer might be something better for you. Then the second thing that I do is I create a content library. And that is simply a spreadsheet that contains the content that I am going to be tweeting on a regular basis. And I'll go into all the details on that. And then the third thing is for the tweets that I do a lot, for example, there are 2 tweets that I do every single day on Twitter. I automate typing those so that I don't have to type the same